Hi guys, it's TGM here, and today I'll show you my idea of a clean UI, the add-ons I use, the basic setup, and how you can import and use my UI.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
A good UI keeps your important information close to the center of the screen so you can focus on executing your rotation perfectly while reacting to boss abilities and mechanics. When designing such UI, you'll be looking for several types of add-ons. You might be using some things like shadowed unit frames or move anything to manipulate your unit frames. You'll want an action bar add-on like bartender to move and resize your action bars. For nameplates, something like platter helps you track important buffs and debuffs above enemies. Then there are other add-ons like sexy map for customizing the minimap, techo tip for tooltips, bagnon for your bars, and so on. The problem is that this list can grow really fast and each add-on has its own style, settings and learning curve which can become a pain to manage. Because of this, I prefer to use ElvUI, which is a complete user interface add-on that combines all of the features I mentioned earlier into a single add-on. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the default ElvUI look, so I pair it with ElvUI Eltruism. Eltruism is a plugin that adds even more features on top of ElvUI, and it includes pre-made profiles for healers, melee and ranged, and it comes with some really nice UI skins. ElvUI Eltruism can also apply its visual style to other add-ons like Details, which is a damage meter, and BigWigs, which we'll use for boss timers. Finally, we'll also be using WeakAuras, which is probably the most important add-on in the game for tracking important cooldowns, abilities and rotations. ElvUI can only be downloaded from their official website at tukwai.org or from their Discord server. One thing you should know is that all Blizzard versions of the game, whether it's Retail, Classic, TBC Anniversary or MOP, use the same ElvUI add-on. This means that in most cases you can use the same profile across different versions. Recently, ElvUI updated to version 15, but since it still has some issues, I'm currently running my profiles on version 14. You can find that version on the ElvUI Discord or on my own Discord server. And if you're watching this from the future, hopefully I've already updated my profile by then. For the rest of the add-ons, I like to install them using the CurseForge add-on manager. From there, download ElvUI Eltruism version 4.4.4 if you're using ElvUI 14 or the latest version otherwise, BigWigs and BigWigs Burning Crusade, Details and WeakAuras. Once everything is installed, load into the game and we can start the basic setup. We'll begin with the Eltruism installer. First, keep in mind that all of these settings can be changed later and you can rerun the installer anytime, so don't stress too much about your choices. There are 3 layouts available: DPS tank, healer and thin mode. Personally, I prefer the DPS tank layout, which works very well for healing too. In the modes window, you can toggle different features on and off. Since I'm not a big fan of the darker looks of ElvUI, I like to enable the light mode with gradient. Next are the font settings, which apply the global font for the UI. I personally like Roboto, but feel free to choose whatever you prefer. For the chat settings, you can choose between transparent or dark chat, and I like to go with the dark chat. Because we have Details installed, we can also choose a theme for the damage meter. All of the layout options include dual panels, which you can customize later to show things like damage done, damage taken, death logs, healing output and more. Finally, Eltruism allows you to apply its skin to other add-ons you have installed, and since I only use BigWigs, I will enable that and finish the default setup. Now comes the fun part, customization. You can open the ElvUI settings by typing /EC. The most important sections here are action bars, where you can control how many action bars are displayed, as well as their size and layout. Unit frames, where you can modify settings for your player, target, party and raid frames. You can adjust things like the size of the frames, text, health and power bars, buffs and debuffs, and many others. Nameplates lets you customize how enemy and friendly nameplates look, and you can track important buffs and debuffs directly on the nameplates by using filters. To move UI elements around the screen, type /EC and click on Movers, and from there you can reposition any element of the interface. To set up your key bindings, type /keyB and then hover over the action bar buttons and press the keys you want to assign. At the bottom of the menu, you'll find the Eltruism settings, which contain a lot of additional customization options. Personally, I haven't changed much here, but if you enjoy tweaking your UI, there's plenty to explore. Another really useful feature is the search bar, and since the search goes through all available settings, you can simply type what you think the option might be called. For example, I don't like the automatic target interaction that appears when I get close to an NPC, so I type target interact into the search bar, which suggests soft target interact option, and disable it. If you want to use my exact UI setup, you can import my profiles found in the video description. For ElvUI, go to WAGO and select Copy Import String. Then go into World of Warcraft, type /EC, open the Profile tab, click Import and paste the string. One small issue is that the data text on the bottom panel isn't shared with the profile. To fix this, go to Data Text, Panels, Eltruism Data Text, and from there you can choose the information you want to display or simply copy my configuration. Before importing the details profile, remove the right chat window because that's where the damage meter will appear. Then copy the details import string from paste bin, type /details options, go to profiles, import the string and give it a profile name. For BigWigs, type /bw, import the profile and select all the checkboxes. Finally, reload your UI and everything should now be fully set up. All of my WeakAuras can also be found on WAGO. For TBC, I currently only have Paladin WeakAuras, but with some basic WeakAura knowledge, they can easily be modified to work for other classes, since I mainly use triggers and actions and avoid custom Lua code. The concept behind my class WeakAuras is always the same. Resource bars such as health and mana placed in the center of the screen, 2 rows underneath that track core abilities, main offensive cooldowns, trinkets and usable items, important buffs above including trinket procs, bloodlust ratios and potions, main defensive cooldowns on the left side and boss debuffs on the right side, buff checkers at the top for missing buffs, flasks, potions, food and other enhancements, and cast bars and less important abilities at the bottom. If you'd like to see a more detailed guide on how I design simple and effective WeakAuras, let me know in the comments below. And that wraps up my clean UI guide. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. This was the Great Me, and until next time,
For the Horde! I was wondering if you'd show up.
I couldn't let the Alliance have all the fun today.
Gah!